Hey guys, welcome to Joy Coifish. My name is Joy Koi. Today I'm going to be showing you how to knit the seed stitch. The seed stitch is a texturous, fun, and beautiful stitch. I love knitting it up. It's made of knits and purls and is great for the beginner knitter. The seed stitch is a lovely and common knitting stitch that is very easy for the beginner knitter. It is made by alternating between knit stitches and purl stitches within a row and between rows. It is called seed stitch because if you look closely, the stitches look like little bumps which look like seeds. I love knitting the seed stitch. It is a super fun stitch and it has so many cool things about it. One of the first things that really comes to my mind when I think of seed stitch is that it lies flat. I know everyone has gone through that horrid pain of just knitting up a stockinette blanket and it starts to curl in on you. You iron it, everything goes right, but not everything. It even still curls. And the lovely thing about this is that it lies flat, so it is great for blankets or scarves or anything that you need for it to be flat. The second thing is that it is reversible, meaning that on the right side looks exactly like the wrong side. So this is a really important thing, especially if you are showing both of the sides. So again, this would be great for a scarf or maybe even a blanket. And then thirdly, the seed stitch is a one row repeat. One row repeat is my favorite 3 words. And I love these patterns because you can relax, watch Netflix, do whatever you'd like, not have to really concentrate as long as you remember the pattern and you kind of just go with the flow. The seed stitch is an easy beginner level pattern that only requires you to know how to do the knit stitch, purl stitch, cast on, and maybe the rib stitch. If you don't know how to do any of those stitches or patterns, I'm going to put them up in the eye right here where it says knitting and crocheting for you to click and go right to those videos so that you can figure out how to do those in a slow, step-by-step tutorial made by me. Now, the moment you all have been waiting for, let's get started. Alright guys, let's get started on the seed stitch. So yeah, like I said before, all you need to know how to do is the knit stitch, the purl stitch, cast on, and maybe the rib stitch. That would help out, but you don't really need to know how to do that just in case. But it would be helpful if you did. So to start, we're going to cast on 11 stitches. If you're following me and doing the same, make sure you cast on 11 stitches. If not, cast on the amount that your pattern calls for. Now we are going to cast on our 11 stitches. Alright, now that we are done casting on, we are going to begin by knitting 1. Very plain, very simple. Now we're going to take our yarn from the back to the front and we are going to purl 1. Again, very simple. Now we are going to do the same thing. So we are going to knit 1. And then we are going to purl 1. Just keep repeating that over and over. So knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1 until the end of the row where the last stitch should be a knit, and I will show you in a second. If you don't have that, that probably means that you've casted on an even number of stitches, which is not what we want. You always want to cast on an odd number of stitches if you are going to be knitting with seed stitch. Otherwise, you are going to get the lovely rib stitch, which I also have a video for, but it is not the same thing. Alright, so here you can see I am knitting my last stitch. If you are purling the last stitch, you either knitted twice, purled twice, something went wrong, or you've casted on an even number of stitches or increased. Those are common problems, especially for beginners. Expect that you're going to have increases, decreases, holes in your pattern. It takes time to get it almost perfect. I'm not saying anyone is perfect. I'm not either. But this stuff is very simple once you get this down pat. And if you have extra time on your hands, maybe practice a stitch or 2. Maybe try knitting and purling. Just keep practicing. It will make you better and better over time. The one thing that is very important to beginning knitting, even if you're not a beginner and you're just passing time. Maybe you were taught in the past and you are just trying to learn again. One very important thing is that you just keep trying. I remember when I started knitting, I hated it, but COVID hit and I was like, well, why don't I just pick this up and see what I can do? So now I am here making YouTube videos for you guys, so it shows that if you put in the effort, you can achieve anything, even the things that you thought you hated. So yeah, just be sure to knit, purl for this entire pattern until you need to switch up the stitch or you need to cast off and you are done. So again, I just showed you I had a knit stitch at the end. So that is the seed stitch, folks. I really hope that you have enjoyed this video. It is a very simple stitch. Love knitting this one. I'm sure you will too. Have any questions? Comment down below. Let me know. And if you did like this video, please be sure to give it a like or possibly subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And I thank you all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.